Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. I am very honored to welcome Dimitri Logothetis to the show. He is a man who has truly transformed Hollywood. Dimitri, good morning.
Good morning.
So we know you are hot off the set of your latest film starring Nicolas Cage.
Yes, Jiu-Jitsu.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's science fiction martial arts. And the last film I did before this was called Kickboxer. I did a remake of the very famous film from the 80s that Jean-Claude Van Damme starred in. And I rebooted that franchise, and I did the first one, then I did the second one. And so I always had in mind that I wanted to do something around science fiction. And so I wrote a comic book called Jiu-Jitsu, just to see what it would look like, so that I could see if it would look good as a film. And then I kind of liked it and ended up making a movie out of it. So,
was this the first comic you've ever written?
Yes.
Wow. So you're from Greece originally. You have this kind of air about you, and your company is called King Road Entertainment, and you're working with a bunch of kings, which is really about the mindset. And what is the common denominator of the mindset of you have these films that they all have a kind of a distinction to them. What is that, would you say?
Well, I mean, I try to make something fun. Martial arts, I think, I grew up in martial arts. I was a two-time black belt in my 20s. And I think that martial arts is probably one of the only art forms where, as a young man or woman, you can look up on the screen and you can see that you could be that superhero. You watch all these superheroes movies today, and you see all these special effects, and you see all these actors pulling these things off that I can make them look great doing. But with my films, they're all real martial artists. They've studied for years. They really do all the things that you see on the screen. And I think it's something that sort of takes you away, and it's a fantasy about good guys and bad guys and doing the right thing and loyalty and all those kind of things that I think are important.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, though, how accessible you've created this fantasy world, that idealized version of a hero is attainable. Who or what has inspired that within you, that idea of, I'm going to make these heroes?
Well, I mean, I think that it was me. When I was a kid, and I looked, and, all of us today, we talk about bullying and bullies and so on and so forth. And it was the kind of thing where I really wanted to learn something after high school, because sports was finished. And I wanted to get involved in something that kept me athletic. But I found a kind of an honor in martial arts and a kind of a discipline in martial arts. Please, thank you, respect, And I think, look, in the East, this is the best genre you could work on. It's the Godfather for them. And here in the West, sometimes everybody thinks that this is just kind of a B movie, But there's an awful lot of wonderful qualities that our leading characters have. And so that's what inspired me.
Right. Do you remember the actual moment when you fell in love with martial arts?
Yeah. I saw Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I knew it was Bruce Lee. You gotta say Bruce Lee, right?
I think my buddies and I, we went and saw they were doing midnight showings all over the place in the South Bay. I grew up in the South Bay. And every time they showed Enter the Dragon, I think we probably saw it about 24 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we memorized all the dialogue. And it was just campy and funny and a lot of fun. But when you saw what he did on camera and you saw some of those other martial artists on camera, you were like, wow.
Wow.
And I think that's probably what did it.
So today we're talking a little bit about really knowing that no one's going to save you. You really have to take 100% responsibility for your life. Any thought on that? Obviously you have a lot of success. Any advice you give for people out there, how you've taken responsibility for your life?
I embrace that. I think I probably did it in my late 30s, where I stopped being the victim. And I think that that's very important. Anytime somebody takes advantage of you, it's because you let that happen. Anytime something bad happened or something didn't happen, it's because you allowed that to happen. And so, for me, I'm a consummate filmmaker. I'm a producer. I'm a writer. I'm a director. And producing is a verb. You don't just sit around at a coffee shop waiting for something to happen. You have to go out there and make it happen. And so I think you're also responsible for your failures at that point.
For sure, right?
Which is great.
I hate to say that.
But I mean, it's great.
It's
because
great.
that's what you learn from,
Absolutely.
You've got to embrace it all, and it's all part of the ride. And
I think some people might maybe go, what do you mean? How I didn't let that happen, that, X and Y and Z. But on a spiritual level, we really do choose everything. And it's a
Yeah.
very advanced concept that's really difficult for some people to get. But as you master, and I'm sure that your practice within martial arts has helped you, what is the philosophy behind the martial arts that you love so much?
Well, I mean, it all is the same. You know, discipline, respect, loyalty. You know, those are all the things that I think are very empowering.
It's funny though, because those words aren't often synonymous with Hollywood.
You noticed that?
I've noticed that
Yeah.
after
God,
12
that's
years.
odd.
Yeah, navigating that in La La Land. So how do you do that? Because I mean, you've worked with some of the greats, right? Not just Nicolas Cage, but Paul Newman and Lily Tomlin. How have you navigated that?
Well, I mean, first of all, there are some wonderful people, and
There are.
There are, and Nick Cage is one of them. He's a consummate artist. He knows about philosophy. He knows about painting. He knows about music, composers. He's a consummate artist. And when he came on set, he completely, when he got off the airplane to meet me in Cyprus, he knew all of his lines. He talked to me about his character, and he immediately wanted to go after a 16-hour trip and go meet with the stunt guys and start working out. And so where do you get that with people? I mean, he's a complete professional. He's one of those actors very similar to the European actors that wants to do as much work as possible to get better and better every day. He doesn't like it when he's not working. And that's probably why he's got an Academy Award.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, it's incredible.
So good to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because he could easily rest on his laurels. He clearly doesn't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, listen, work is wonderful, isn't it, for you guys?
Absolutely.
You love getting up and having something to do and thinking about something and trying to do your best every day. And
We don't call it workaholism. We just call it a mission.
yeah,
You know, it's like
Yeah.
the same thing, but you
Yeah,
know.
if you enjoy it, it's play, right? I mean,
Right.
to a large extent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice that you would share with maybe any other young actors or young directors that want to follow in your footsteps and your mission?
Well, you know, you guys have this theme going today. I mean, it's your life, and it's not a dress rehearsal. So go out there and get what you want. There's no look. I came over here with my parents. I was an immigrant who made it. Wow, can you imagine that? And just in case you've heard something about immigrants nowadays in the news,
Just vaguely.
it's easy to become an immigrant nowadays. But in any case, I'm an immigrant, and we didn't have anything. My father worked very hard. He was a mechanic. And I just kept hearing about, you know, you're not going to go to film school, are you? You're not going to be able to do anything in film school. You can't really write. You're not from here. You know, you don't know anybody. And luckily, I'm, you know, a little stubborn. I don't really listen to stuff like that. And I just kept moving forward. And I just, if you really believe in yourself and you're talented, and you believe in your talent, and maybe you're not that talented, okay? But you can become better. So stay on it. I mean, there's no reason why you can't live your dream.
1,000%.
Just love that.
So
Amen.
inspiring.
Is that what you think and feel has led to, in addition to, of course, you being incredibly talented, is it your persistence and your stubbornness and your basic stickability that you think has led to the extraordinary success you're enjoying today?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just you don't accept failure, right? I mean, it's all, look, to put it in a simple metaphor, everybody gets knocked down. And it's about getting up. If you just stay there, then I guess that's it. But, you know, you got to get up, you got to brush, you know, wash your face, get up and try to figure out how to do it better next time.
You only got to get up one time more than you get knocked down.
That's right. That's right. You want to win more than
One
you
time
lose.
more, that's right.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know, some of the most successful people that we know of have failed miserably. Some of the people that you call billionaires today, or if that's what you call success, everybody fails. So, you know, it's just about what you do after that.
Oh, Dimitri, thank you for sharing your light and your art with the world. Please tell everyone what's next for you and where they can find and follow you.
Well, let's see. Jiu-Jitsu will probably be done. I'm editing it now, and it'll be done and out around March or April. And then the very next film I'm doing is called Man of War, and it was written by Gary Scott Thompson, who wrote Fast and Furious. And
I love Fast and
Just that guy.
Furious.
there's going to be a very big movie star attached to that. I can't really.
I can't wait to see jiu-jitsu. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
I
Tell
really-
people where they
really
can
had a lot of
find
fun.
your personal journey.
Do you
DimitriSite.com, I think. I've
Okay.
got,
There you go.
I've got
That
stuff
works.
on there, and
Yes.
I never really paid attention. But yeah,
So much.
thank you guys so much
Stay
for
tuned.
having
We're
me.
back with more. Good morning.